And I call the member for Hindmarsh.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I rise tonight to celebrate the success of the Glenelg SANFL Football Club's new lights at Glenelg Stadium, which were partly funded by a $190,000 grant from the federal government. Deputy Speaker, I've lived in the western suburbs of Adelaide my whole life, and way before I entered politics, I've always followed the SANFL. And I've been a big fan of local footy, and in fact I'm actually the #1 ticket holder for one of the clubs, West Adelaide Football Club, which I've followed all my life. But now, as the current member for Hindmarsh, people are constantly talking to me about the good work that these football clubs, local football clubs, are doing in their communities, and Glenelg Football Club is no exception. Back in 2010, when I was down at Glenelg talking to the CEO, Rob Nelson, back then, about how the club was going, and in particular what the federal government could do to help support all the good work that they do in the community. And that's because, Deputy Speaker, footy clubs have a fantastic way, a brilliant way of breaking down barriers, building communities, striving for achievement and promoting healthy, active lifestyles, and an opportunity for children and kids and teenagers to play a great, magnificent sport. So we workshopped the problem together with Rob and, of course, at the time, the Minister for Sport, the member for Adelaide, Kate Ellis. She came up for a meeting, and we met and discussed what we could do to help. And we came up with a plan for the government to partner with the club to help them out. And it turned out that one of the key problems at Glenelg Footy Club back then was that the oval couldn't be used for night matches because the lighting wasn't good enough. Glenelg had already done a lot of groundwork. They'd already done a lot of their homework and planning for the new lights, but the finances needed a bit of a boost to make it a reality. And, Deputy Speaker, that is why I was so pleased to announce an election commitment in August 2010, together with the then Minister for Sport, the member for Adelaide at the time, Kate Ellis, that we would commit $195,000 towards the installation of lights at Glenelg Oval. And I was incredibly proud to deliver that money and attend the official switching on of the lights together with the member for Adelaide recently. Now that they're installed, the Glenelg Football Club has been able to expand its operating times and provide a more flexible schedule for use not only by football teams but also the wider community in the area, and it will be a great asset for the wider community in the area. And that's important because one of our priorities is supporting sport better into the future than it has been in the past, whether that be at school, state level or at the elite level, Deputy Speaker. And if you allow me, I just want to read out an article that appeared in my local paper, in the Guardian Messenger, on the 10th of May, written by Tim Williams, because it really says it all, it sums it all up. And it says the title of the story was "Bay's Crowd Figures Up." Glenelg Football Club says night games have boosted home crowds by 35% so far this season. More than 5,800 fans watched the Bay's defeat Sturt under lights on April the 27th. That followed a crowd of more than 6,000 for the Tigers' first night match against West Adelaide in March, while almost 5,000 turned up for the clash against South Adelaide last month. Glenelg Chief Executive Rob Nelson said the club was absolutely delighted with the response to night football. People are coming for the spectacle, he said. You walk around on a Friday night and see a lot of teenagers and families walking in Glenelg, walking around in Glenelg merchandise in a safe environment. It's opened up our club and our team to a broader demographic. Mr Nelson said extra lighting had been added to the scoreboard after complaints from some fans that it could not be seen clearly during the first night game. Rob has since written to me to tell me that, and I quote, "We believe this increased patronage to be largely as a direct result of night football. We have not had any reported incidences from any match so far as a direct consequence of night football. The new sports lighting has enabled a safer environment for our senior teams and junior development teams for training. We have already been approached to run a charity event under lights later this year. Such is the interest." So, Deputy Speaker, this is a great outcome. It's a great outcome for the Glenelg Football Club, a great outcome for the Glenelg area. It means more families are joining the local footy community, more people are getting access to the grounds, and the club is better to engage with the philanthropic ventures like the proposed charity event that is coming up soon. So if I could take this opportunity to congratulate all the players, the staff, the volunteers at Glenelg on this fantastic achievement, although it probably meant quite a few late nights for them in planning and preparing.
Members'
Weekends of
time
work. What a
has
fantastic outcome for the
expired.
Hindmarsh.